You want to know the sad thing about that too, either? This isn't even the first time I spilt water today. So yes, the water is cleaned up. I spilled my water like an idiot. All of the floor. And I'm just glad that nothing got ruined. Hopefully. I got a box for the Pokemon cards. By the way, those Pokemon cards have been fully opened, and I'm in the process of now with them. It's just kind of like, kind of sorting them and being like, alright, which ones am I keeping, which ones am I giving away to people? Because there are some I'm giving away. And it's like, which ones are going to be sold, which ones are going to be higher price points, which ones are going to be kind of lower at price points, which ones am I just going to be like, here, take them. That's kind of in the process I am in now. And soon, hopefully soon, I can go to the Poke Shop and, get them sold. And then donate that money to Action Life. Because that was always the plan. Is to open the Pokemon cards, sell them for a profit, and then donate the profit. Dude, welcome. Anyways, tonight we're playing some. We are officially back to normal. Kind of. Like, officially, but not really. Officially. Back to normal. Because I'm still a little bit under the weather. I'm still not fully recovered. And I don't think it's like what was going on with Action Life, or it's like what happened. Just starting to Spark Life, because I'm over that part, but it's like there's something going on there's something going around at work, and I still think I'm not fully over that. So it's, oh boy, it's gonna be a fun weekend because we still have the missing 3 hours to make up, and I'm doing that this weekend. So I'm gonna play some Portal 2 on Saturday for that, and I guess next it would be to, oh shoot, I forgot to make the scene yet. Well, it's not make the scene. I didn't, get it ready yet because I was like, no, it's not Christmas yet. Wait, we don't have the hat? Oh, out of all the hats I can think of, Santa's not. I think they have. Well, I'll have to find one then. We'll just use the horn. Because Turnabout Christmas is right around the corner. Or that's at least the excuse I'm going. So I'm gonna take these off, by the way, don't worry. So, yes, I got these ears on just to be like, hey yo, next big event is in a little bit over a month. It's Turnabout Christmas, December 29th. Wait, not December 29th, December 19th to the 21st. So be there for the return. Well, not the return of the court. That's gonna be a Polish justice. That will be a Polish justice regardless of what happens. But be there for a Christmas tradition. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what Turnabout Christmas is all about. It's not about the verdict. It's about the turnabout we had along the way. Anyway, so yes, Turnabout Christmas, December 19th to 21st. And, I would like to make it official. December 2nd will be the Nitro Learns Genshin from the Wheel Redemption. So I hope you guys will tune out for that. Seeing me annoy the shit out of random because I don't know Genshin. And I'm going to be making a lot of references to my boy's father, Genshin Agazi. Obviously, of course, you should know this. I already made one. When I asked when do we honorably duel a guy, I was making a reference to Genshin Agazi, man. remember, that's how he killed Clint. So, anyways, I think I should be done rambling, and we should investigate a murder. Wow. Continue. Oh, this. Go away. Chapter start. September 10th, 6:15 p.m. District Court Number 3. Hey, what are you doing here? Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating. But the object you're looking for has already... Okay, don't mind him. Just continue with your investigation. Okay, enough fun lurking. Well, I mean, work. Have as much fun as you can. Please continue with your investigation. Okay, you got it. Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you were looking for? If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any task will do. Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. The moment which we can finally lay this case to rest? Was it that when we placed the gun under her breast? I think we more than solved the case already. Don't you? We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds. Oh. We even have a viewer in the gallery. And why? Why? Even Mr. Bad's here. A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly a bystander. I have a duty to see this case through to the end, no matter how it turns out. Oh, is that right? Anyways, I thought you might like to hear what I have slaved away to find out. Have taken statements on every single person's movements. During the time our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there was no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must be, without a doubt, Detective Gumshoe. And that's all you have? Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion. In this case. Sorry, but I beg to differ. In trial, there's always time for a rebuttal. And we are standing in a court of law. What you're thinking is a cross-examination, Edgeworth? It'd be more appropriate to follow the rules of court in this case, don't you think? Absolutely like a rookie thing. Alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony. If my logic is correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is prove it by showing who the real killer is. Everyone saying the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the area around the crime scene has been thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirmed that there was no possible escape from lobby number 2, which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth. But of course, there's no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should have focused on drawing out any trump card she has up her sleeves.
Hold it.
The suspect, but I thought Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven. Are you joking, Edgeworth? I assure you this is no joke. Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier. that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll. Yes, that's correct. But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is, there's no one else who could corroborate what he did since the snacking. I see she's done her research well. Which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she was holding. Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide. The script shade frozen lines on your forehead and back! Anyways, even if you believe it has been excessive, the crime scene in lobby number 2 has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. But isn't it also possible that someone escapes through the window into the garden? That's the first place everyone looked, silly! The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility, you know. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad? Yeah. Wait, no. Those sunglasses are for Sheila. Instead of scrap of evidence. There's just someone used one of the windows. There's also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden. I suppose they really did check everything they could. It could be relevant to the case. I also confirmed that there's a possible escape route from lobby number 2. Are you absolutely positive that there's no possible routes of escape? Of course I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is a courthouse. This is a courthouse where the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there were escape routes, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future. Ah! You may think it's unshakable, but to me, there's still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand? But you're the only one still wondering that? Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a affirmative statement. I suppose we really reached the end now. I've already had my trump card. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall Francesca or myself speaking with you about the subject. But there were witnesses. For you, as there is your mentor who gave you an alibi. I see. As for the little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, so I heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or a bailiff or anyone else. Wait, basically the only reason Francesca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor. By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to the guard duty? What about them? Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time? What kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Ben and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. Yes, but let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard the gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, if that was the crime, if that's the crime had occurred at the entirely different time than when the gunshot you heard went off, what then? That gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception of. Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard from lobby number 1 could explain how that could have been fabricated. Did you know that the surveillance camera was in that tape? Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape Miss Ariel of Miss Ariel's prosecution presented in today's trial. It was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up. You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video. Ah, but I do, which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than anyone had heard the gunshot. That's the only thing I can think of, too. After committing the double homicide, the killer took the surveillance out of Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television to the volume all the way up, and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know that this is the method of time manipulation is possible, it opens the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe. Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew much from the very beginning, right? Of course we knew! Didn't we, Miles? Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof qualities of the courthouse room. Of course, I'm not about to admit we had no idea until a little while ago. That's right. And if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet, we heard the gunshot clear as day. And that's it. End of story. But it's not. How should I explain she was able to hear the gunshot from the soundproof windows? The window was open. There's actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it's that, despite the fact that both of the rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now that we know the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also open. It's probably just a coincidence they were both open at the time. It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window lobby number 1 open? The answer to that is a certain person did something to cause the window to be open. And that person who triggered that action is that person is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is... Well, it has to be Miss You, right? Miss Celestial You, I hereby formally indicate you as the murderer of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rail. What? You indicate me? Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she's the killer? I don't understand her motives just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she's the only person who could have done it. Well, Miss You, do you still feel like laughing now? Of course I do, Edgeworth. My argument must not be tight enough yet. Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But you know, I'll have you know, I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? You argue that the window was open. However, what do you have proof? Proof that it was I who did that. Furthermore, you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime. Frankly, I'm shocked that you're going far. I'm shocked you're going around accusing people of murder like this, especially with logic as full of holes as yours. This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down even for a second, or the truth will blow away. Now this is the time to Time to put the Phantom Von Karma perfect proof to test. Evidence. All I did need to do is have some prints analyzed, and we'll know straight away. Be my guest. It sounds as though she has room to maneuver, which means even if we were able to list the prints, they'd only show that it was someone else. But why would someone else be forced to open the window? That's simple logic. Why don't I try presenting that piece of evidence? I have nothing else to lose. What's wrong? The scratched eyebrows lines on your forehead are back. They're all back. More importantly, are you going to be okay not running a fingerprint analysis? Yes, I'll be fine. Oh, well, in that case, I'll just continue with my testimony, alright? I thought I just proved that it was. Sure, you proved that the tape was there at the scene of the crime. However, that doesn't prove that it was actually used in that crime. Unfortunately for you, Miss Yu, the fact that the tape was there in the crime scene in itself is very important. How so? By the very existence of that tape at the crime scene, it proves that the possibility that when the crime could have been fabricated, and that possibility alone renders all alibis and witness reports are irrelevant. Basically, it means that we need to re-examine everything, every person's movements again. Whether the tape was used in a crime or not, that we can reevaluate afterwards. So in conclusion, you're admitting that you can't prove that it was what it was at this point. Frankly, I'm shocked that you're going around accusing people of murder like this. Even if you're shocked, that is of no concern to me. I do things my own way. Oh, I see that you're not laughing for a change. Because I'm shocked. Again, you'll be shocked. You being shocked is no concern to me. Let us continue with the testimony. Alright, well, let me say one thing. You shouldn't go around accusing people. Especially with logic as full as holes as yours. Full of holes. Well, I suppose it might be. Oh, admitting to your faults now, are we? At this point in time is what I meant to say. Should I take that to mean you're just a sore loser? No matter how full of holes my logic may be right now, if I can plug them in one at a time. I will ultimately make the way to the truth. What a paradox. Take care not to fall into one of those holes before you fill it up. Miles, you remember, don't you? About why a window in lobby number 1 was open. Yes, of course I do. And that's how I'll attack. I'll present the reason why the window had to be open. I just wanted to press everything. For a murderer, I really like his steal you. I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu? Ah, Edgeworth! I never knew you were wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I recommend for boys, you know. I'm holding on to it for Francesca. Apparently. Don't tell me it's not for me, it's for Francesca. What? This isn't mine! That's right, it's mine, and I received it from Detective Bad, you see. Miss Yu, you can't pretend all you like, but we know at least this much for sure. That this bottle of perfume was given to Detective Bad by you. Because it gets really strong really fast! So, what about the perfume? While we're in lobby number 1, while you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad. So, not even agreeing with me? What the fuck is up, bruh? Oh, I know. You also knew that if you spilled it, you would naturally move to open a window. Come on now, I've already told you that was all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open. maybe it was just a dumb luck that we heard the gunshots through the window. The timing of when you are going to spill the perfume is something you can control. And the most important fact about this case is when people is about when the people were made to hear the shots. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. You mean, Miss you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. When you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditative events can only have been thought of by you, Miss you. You accused me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume? Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed him, Mr. Faraday. Would you care to testify as to why? Looks like I had a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap this absurd case up once and for all. Accusing someone of murder for a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. Because I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Miles, her testimony. It's flawless. Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. If I'm lacking in information, I'll just draw it out of her. Like anybody knows, when in doubt, you gotta press every statement. Actually, no, to be fair, it's when in doubt, yell objection, but in this case, in the story of wait, hold on, Miss Yu is a defense attorney. Fuck. In the sense of every other defense attorney, gotta press every statement or else you might get fucked. I think I've already explained the significance of that earlier. You only confirmed that I did spill some perfume. But that's all. That's not a crime. That you would accuse me of murder based on a simple spill. Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character. Do as you like, but as for me, I believe. You believe? I believe that you are the true culprit of this case. Why? You're enthusiastic! Of course, I should have guessed. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. I formally request that you test your attack against my mentor. Yes! Or we'll sue you for defamation! Right after she would say, I'm doing is telling the truth. Well, maybe more like spreading gossip. Although your adamant denials are, shall we say, just adding fuel to the fire. How dare you! Don't worry, Edgeworth. You'll be feeling the same as her in about 7 years. Wait. In about 4 years. Say such a thing! Calm down, little girl. Don't let her get to you. Nah. Aw, why did you have to ruin my fun? Well, I'll continue. In any case, it's simply not about me who killed Mr. Faraday. And why exactly could you not kill him? I was just about to testify to that! You're such an impatient man! I'm not really into that, you know, Edgeworth. Now! Your preferences have no bearing on what it is at hand. Feel a little uncomfortable, are we? Yeah. Mr. You will detest this tomfoolery and turn to your testimony. And Miles, if you're going to lose your cool, then I won't let you won't show you any mercy. Sorry. Miss Yu, please As I was saying, I couldn't possibly kill Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where that knife that was used to kill him came from. At this rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, that knife was the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag. Miles, what do you think you're doing? I'm drawing the truth out of her. That's what I'm doing. Huh? But I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today. Very well. I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use. So that's what you're trying to do? Look, why don't you cut it out to the lies? I've already figured you out. There's no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he has yet to present was the key that the Gasser sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Objection! I do have a leg to stand on. I have two, in fact. Sorry, if she's not always gonna be serious, I'm not always gonna be serious. Did you really think you could trap me? Come on now, be honest. I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might apprehend to what you just said to your testimony. Sure, why not? I'll even say as many times as you like. There was a net. Can't kill anyone with a simple key. Hold it! Miss Yu, would you just like to confirm one? I would just like to confirm one thing with you one more time. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to take the gun after this. I don't need to ask you about that because he isn't the killer. Like the number of wrinkles on your forehead has been yet again. That issue aside, Miss Yu, I would like to ask you about what's inside the bag. Are you sure it was the Gasser key, correct? Yes, I'm sure. Which is why I'm completely baffled as to where's that knife code coming from. I think I spotted the road to a perfect victory. Finally, it would appear that you've revealed your true identity, Miss Yu. Well, her final statement. Yes, I know. All I have to do now is present her with the evidence. But what is it? Ominous feeling that I cannot shake. Do you think it was someone murdered? Alright, works good enough. Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is the picture of the key the Gasser sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, in fact, it has a secret ability to transform into a knife, which means that it was inside Mr. Faraday's bag. It was both the Gasser key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not? Yes? Well, with the Gasser's key alone, it's more than impossible to kill Mr. Faraday. Do you understand now, just knowing the existence? I still haven't got a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could be lying for all I know. You would, even now, still, feign ignorance. I'm not feigning anything. But we can't have you can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I heard something very interesting rumors about him. Are you mocking my papa? dare steal the good name of my mentor. Now take a good look. The piece of evidence is more than real. Wow. I knew that there was such a trick to this thing. Are you satisfied now? But of course, you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yasagazu key are one and the same. Otherwise, someone like you isn't a member of the law enforcement and would never have any privy to this trick, would never have known about it to begin with. Furthermore, the something that the Yasagasu sent to the police. How did you have as to knowledge of what it was? Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Braille off and told me. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. He didn't tell me about the key actually He didn't actually tell me about the key, how the key actually transformed. What are you saying is not simply possible? Oh, and why not? Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden key within the key. From within these pages, mentioning nothing about a knife. I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know? Wouldn't something of this importance be a little better left to oral communication? Unfortunately, that's also impossible, because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. Would have been highly classified information even within the police force, and is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition? Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much time for reason to. Looks like you have a pretty lame excuse, huh? How can you be laughing at a time like this? He probably just realized the flaw in her logic, and is probably in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with. I suppose you're right. It's you. I'd like you to state that I also know how you know the real nature of this knife. You know now? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me? Oh, I will, and I will wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it, the moment of truth, the secret behind the Yasagasu key. Only one person would have had knowledge from it from the get-go. You wouldn't know at the start if the Yasagasu key could change into a knife. It would be this person. Thanks for the best laugh I've had all day. Now we're ready for call it a day yet? Wait a second. Was I mistaken? One person would have not known from the get-go. Who would have known from the start the Yasagasu key could also change into a knife? Well, obviously the Yasagasu. I mean, yeah, the Yasagasu would. There's only one person who could have known about the dual nature of the key. And what that person is who sent the Yasagasu key to the police. That is to say, the Yasagasu herself. Are you saying that this lawyer is the great thief, the Yasagasu? Monsieur, you used Mr. Real to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You who profess to bear a grudge against criminals. Why? Why do something like this? stupid rookie prosecutor would see through me. You're sending the biggest chills down my spine now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill. It's even greater than when I sneak into Pleasant Place! You killed Faraday? Why? Answer me, Celestial you. Celestial you. That's not my real... Is this actually Cece? Holy shit, is this Cece? Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief, yes, the got through. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday is the one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rail an offer, an acquittal for a little favor in return. All I had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yasagaster in court. But once we entered the recess, Rail was dragged off by Mr. Faraday. She threw my plan into complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rav caved to only two things, money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held on to Mr. Rail any longer. Plus, if I had let them continue the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both. But did you say that you despise criminals? I really do. You! Have you forgotten about the KG8 incident too? Maybe. What sort of woman would? So then it was your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent? Well, I had a good idea what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated Mr. Faraday was going to prove Rail wasn't the Yasagaster by using this Yasagaster key as evidence that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be as wiser. Because who in their right mind would think of something like this could be a weapon? Because I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to act with Mr. Faraday. In order to get with him, I pretended to be worried about him. Then he let me hold the Yasagaster key just like that. He never noticed that I have changed the key into the knife inside that plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life. How could you kill him? I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death. But if you kill Mr. Faraday first, there was no need to kill Mr. Earl as well. I believe I mentioned why when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness, and that's how the lead to the killer was to think about setting them up as though they killed each other. Then the trick was the surveillance tape. Yes, I haven't actually planned to use the gun, which the risk was too high that I would be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape, which is why I had Real help me set up the crime scene. And after that it was said and done with, I rewarded him for all of his hard work with a bullet. You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you betray a client? Client? If you want to talk about who's the client of who's first, it was not me. I was the client of the murder and the emissary of the first emissary staff member, Deadman. You ordered a hit job? You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had Deadman killed because he was about to give away the information about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think benefited from such an assassination? It can't be. You're. That's right. member of the smuggling ring. What? What? And she's a defense attorney? I still like her. She's still on the the tier. I'm not gay, but smash. How could this? You don't mean you're working with Manny Coachman too, do you? Maybe not. Guess you'll never know. Higasagasa claims to be a noble, but you're just another cold-blooded kid murderer. That's right, little girl. Higasagasa is just another killer. Be quiet, you. Higasagasa. You can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. Just humbly accept the judgment of this court. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know Higasagasa has 3 legs? Do you know why that is? No, well, let me tell you. It means that the Higasagasa has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work. Oh shit, she's got a gun! Ha! This is not the first. This won't be the last time I have a gun pointed at me. You really are naive, Edgeworth. You haven't even handed the Higasagasa key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to my plan, but I'll still gladly take it. You mean the key was your real target? And even after I gave you such a great advice, did I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes of your negligence. You two, get down! Eek! Ah! Nah, my body, I can't move. Hey, mister! To your right! You! Are you alright, Francesca? I am perfectly fine, Miles. Her voice is shaking. It looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot. September 10th, 7 p.m. District Court, number 3. Sorry. It looks like she got away. Damn. I called the precinct. He should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket. He may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken. But more importantly, boy, Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma, are you two hurt? I'm absolutely fine. I'm also alright. Thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know. She just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, and hey, Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir? Detective Bad, sir? I'm sorry I doubted you. Don't worry, sir. Not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys after all, too. I heard about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Now don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got it, pals! Huh. Watched some too many detective dramas recently, have we? Way too single-handedly destroyed the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comic. should get back to the investigation. I swear, I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Be careful, Detective Bad. Take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday. And the next time will be in the next chapter. Which will be next week, by the way. There's no way in hell we're done with Detective Bad, though. Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find the truth behind everything. Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. Your Honor! I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. Is this where the Gumshoe and Judge Pal arc starts? It was no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor. Well, even if we didn't have your Honor's testimony, I think the lawyer would have found out another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Yeah, can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. Well, so as long as you're not fired, you shall work hard, give it your all you have, and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me. She did? Ooh, what is it? What was it that... Was it the Swiss roll? It's a courthouse special Swiss roll! Can I really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm gonna eat this right now. Sure, go ahead. Swiss rolls, Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. The one Kay saved neither reached her father. It would appear that her sentiment has touched the hearts of this detective. He's so happy, as though he has a welcome back to a celebration of his own. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him. Whoop! That was good, pal. I can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. I gotta thank Kay myself. Hey, wait, where is she? You only just noticed now. Was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him. Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna help him. Oh, but first, you know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stick by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I sensed nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement. We should go home 2 miles. We have to hurry and report what happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must go now, Detective. Roger, sir. And don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on real well. I be counting on you. A sense of trouble is definitely in the air. Just like a bad dream, my first outing of court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as the prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was I dreaded Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I have tried, but words have failed to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now... So, do you remember now? Yes. I remember everything. Okay. It's been a while. Okay, sure grew up a lot. Of course, but thanks goodness. I thought you two totally forgot about me. You know, I was real worried about you after that. Where have you been all this time? Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They lived really far away, so I wasn't able to come back here all that much. Is that what happened? Well, I'm glad you were all right. So it doesn't all make sense now? You betcha it does. Oh, and you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently, and actually, there's still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. Huh? First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yasagasaru? The Yasagasaru is Celestial. You, the woman who killed your father. You're wrong. The real Yasagasaru was my father. She wasn't there! She wasn't there when we proved it. Mr. Faraday was the Yasagasaru. Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and I found the secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the way past the Yasagasaru. That was written in his diary. That's how I knew it for sure. But that's impossible! What does that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it. It was impossible just now. Alright then. How do you explain this? It's a way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing. Yep. That's a little thief. Truth be told, it's the Yasagasaru's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father. Wow, Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor. He was really a great thief, huh? Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. But he was killed. And the Yasagasaru was no more. But despite that, the Yasagasaru has been spotted recently again. Someone other than you? Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article. Yasagasaru sent the emissary a calling card? Yeah, meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Celestial Yugi lady is behind this. Because the real Yasagasaru would never send something as a guarded calling card. But the Yasagasaru did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves. Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up, and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out, so I could obtain the truth behind the Yasagasaru. Because if anyone can help me figure it out, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you're saying that I have your father and misuse the identities backwards? Yes, because the real Yasagasaru is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real noble Yasagasaru. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace. Hey, you're so honorable. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal. Even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief, and you are plotting to commit a crime. Then I'm afraid I can't be conflicted. Mr. Edgeworth. Ooh, you guys are not making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now? Mr. Edgeworth. What I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman. That evil woman. You mean Celestial you. I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me? Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you. Huh? Owe me for what? When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me in the investigation today. I'm not so rude to leave unfavors unpaid. Then you mean? Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to soil your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you. Yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Isn't that great, Kay? Yeah, sure is, Gummy. Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. What's with their chummy of a relationship? Yasagata. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Brian Faraday, Cecile Yu, and Kay Faraday. The famous ghastly changing identity of the great thief Yasagata. And the Yasagata's real goal. It would all come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay. Okay, so yes, we are saving. Gosh, we are saving. So I know tonight has been shorter, but I did. But as always, I don't realize how long or short these parts are gonna be. So in the end, it's like, yeah, this is all we can do for now. So I don't want to run the stream too late because I still have work. Because obviously I still have work in the morning. So should be well aware. Should be should respect the fact that I have work and stuff. But I'll be back on Saturday for Portal 2. And then we'll be back next week for Turnabout Ablaze. And now I believe Turnabout Ablaze is going to take me maybe 2-3 weeks. So that will probably lead us into December. And then after that is when we're going to be doing we're going to do some milestone redemptions. And however long those take us, we'll see where we're at for time and how close we are to January 24th, which is the release of the Abolition Trilogy. So, I hope you guys can. And don't forget, on December 19th to the 21st will be this year's Turnabout Christmas. And so, actually, at this point, it's find someone to raid. Target. So we're just gonna end, and I'll see you guys Saturday.